What's up YouTube, it's TF Collector, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studios Series 86 Deluxe Class Constructicon Scavenger from the Transformers the movie. And before we take a look at the figure itself, we will take a look at the packaging that he does come in on the front here. Nice picture of Scavenger in both robot and alt mode. Transformers Studios Series, Scavenger is his name. Hasbro, there's the movie he is from. He is 4 of 5 to combine for Devastator. 4 of 5 boxes, 6 figures. 15-step transformation on this side, a picture of Devastator. 4 of 5, Studio Series, Transformers the movie. On this side, the rest of that picture, Autobot logo, Transformers Studio Series, and then Deluxe Class in many languages. On the back of the packaging, a screen grab of Devastator from the movie. Scavenger combines with other Constructicons to form Devastator. There's his name again, and the movie. More pictures, 15 steps, 4 or 5, more than meets the eye. A barcode there, Hasbro there on the bottom, nothing on the top. The Transformers the movie, Scavenger, Takara Tomy. And one final thing before we take a look at the figure, he does of course include his instruction manual, a picture of Scavenger there. 8 and Up Studio Series, Transformers the movie, Scavenger is his name. On the back, Takara Tomy and Hasbro. And now moving to the figure itself, here is Scavenger in his construction vehicle that I don't know the name of, alt mode. I don't know the name of any of these construction vehicles for the most part. I don't know. An excavator, maybe? I have no idea. But coming in close on the details, here you have the purple windows and windshields going on. Nice Decepticon logo there up top. Of course, done in this green color, which actually looks really good in person. Very close and perfect to the cartoon. Just some nice molded details all throughout. Even up the arm there. More molded details and whatnot. Little bit of silver here on the sides, and of course the purple treads with nice molded details. Underneath, nothing much to see, no rolling wheels, so he just slides, he does not roll. But overall, a pretty solid looking alt mode in my opinion. And for some alt mode articulation, you can move this around. It is on a hinge at the base, so you can move it back and forth there. It actually comes packed separately and tabs in right here, so you can rotate that side to side if you want. Another hinge right there. Move that up and down, and one more hinge right here, so you can move that part there, so you can get all kinds of fun motions going on with your Scavenger. And when it comes to accessories, he does include one, and that is his blaster. You can see here, very nice little blaster here. It's got the scope there and the magazine going on. Pretty cool looking blaster, if I say so myself, but it can store. You're just gonna take the tab there, plug it into the port, and there you go. That is your storage. Not very elegant, but now you have a deadly construction machine. And for some quick alt mode comparisons, first here is Scavenger with Studio Series 86 Commander Optimus Prime, my personal favorite Studio Series figure, but as you can see, how those two scale along one another. Here he is with the original Combiner Wars Scavenger. So you can see just what they did. Obviously downscaled, different color green. I do prefer the new Studio Series version. Here in alt mode, I think it looks better, a lot more compact. But to each their own. You may like this, you may like this. Me personally, I like this better. And last but not least, here is the Studio Series 86 Constructicon team thus far. And I think they are turning out really, really nice. I can't wait to be able to combine Devastator. 5 down, 1 to go. Hope to have Mixmaster very soon. But I am loving the way this team is turning out. But all that being said, that is about all I have to say for the alt mode for Scavenger here. I think it looks pretty nice. I wish it had the little rolling wheels on the bottom, but pretty nice alt mode here. Can't wait to get all of them together, but we are not going to go into combine mode until we do have all of them. I will have a separate Devastator video when I get Mixmaster, in which we will do all of them into combine mode. So we're just going to go into robot mode right now. So let's get down to it. So the first thing you want to do is just collapse this piece up like so. Then what you want to do is come under here, untab these sections on each side and just rotate them downward. Do the same thing on the other side. Just untab that there, rotate it down so that now the legs are facing in the right position. Now you can take his feet, just get your nail in there and kind of open them up like so. Do the same thing on the other side, just kind of get your nail in there. One nice thing about Bone Crusher is he did have a little piece that stuck down, which made separating these feet at this step easier. Unfortunately, Scavenger does not have that, but they aren't too hard to get separated, just a little frustrating. Now, you want to unlock his knees for articulation in robot mode, so just unlock his knee, have it resting there like so, and that is your lower body already all done. Now what we can do is come here, open this section, flip his head up, there's his beautiful noggin, and close that section, and there you have that all done. Now this piece in this step is a little fiddly. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but basically what you're going to want to do is untab this piece, and it's going to go this way, but it's going to go behind this section. So what you have to do is untab this piece from this back right here. You can see it just tabs in right there, tab slot connection. And basically you're going to want to start swinging this around, but at the same time you want to be swinging this piece back, and also at the same time you want to be bringing this shoulder up. So just do all that at the same time, and then there is a tab there that will go into a slot there on that piece. So just line all that up. That should tab in and look like that, and then the shoulder will snap into place like so. You'll feel it snap, and there you have that done, and then you just flip his fist down, and there you have one arm all done. Same thing on the other side. Untab that section from right there. Start to bring, now this side is a lot easier because you don't have that piece to worry about, so you're just basically bringing this up and bringing this piece forward, locking that shoulder into place, bringing that fist out. And with all that said and done, there is Scavenger in his robot mode. And sometimes I can't really get mine to stand. Sometimes I do, unfortunately, have to leave the knees locked, which doesn't really look very good, but sometimes I have no choice. But there is Scavenger in robot mode. And when it comes to robot mode, Scavenger is kind of like Bone Crusher. He's not terrible, but he could be better. Now, I do prefer this over the Bone Crusher robot mode. I think it looks way better, but still has its flaws. But coming in close on the head sculpt, you can see the head sculpt is done beautifully. You have your nice face mask there, red visor, nice silver used there. Great head sculpt. Nice silver here with the nice Decepticon logo there. Some cool details all throughout. Not a whole lot of paint, but obviously that is screen accurate. So you can see the arms. Now you do have the mismatch, green paint, green plastic. Yes, it is kind of annoying and kind of an eyesore, but oh well. What's even worse though is this. Grrr, I hate. I'm not a hollow space fan. That kind of gets on my nerves. And this is $25. This is a $25 figure. He's not very tall. And that, just grrr. But turning to the back here, not a bad backpack. You do, of course, just have this piece here, which is accurate, so can't complain much there. Overall, not a bad robot mode, but certainly could have been better. And now for articulation. Scavenger can move decently well. His head can just slightly look downward. Not very much, though. It can rotate a full 360, though. The arms can rotate a full 360 on a ball joint. Can move in and out. You do have rotation right there at the elbow on that ball joint. 90 degrees of bend there at the elbow. Due to transformation, you can move the wrist inward if you feel the need to do that. Unfortunately, no waist swivel. Kind of annoying once again, but it's fine. I know they based him off the Combiner Wars version. Do wish he could have had that waist swivel, though. The legs can kick forward that far, backward, that far, outward. Full split. You do get rotation there at the thigh. If you unlock his knee, you do get about 90 degrees of bend there at the knee. I'm just going to lock that back in place so he learns how to stand. You do get a nice ankle pivot. Glad they included that. And due to transformation, both the heel and the toe can both move downward. So overall, pretty good articulation. Just wish he had the waist swivel. Now we can, of course, bring in his accessory, and I don't know where to store it. I don't think it stores, so you have no choice. Mwahaha, you must make him hold his weapon. I guess you could store it on his arm if you really wanted to, but me personally, I'm going to have him wielding his weapon, and there is Scavenger with his blaster. And for some comparisons here in robot mode, first here is Scavenger with Studio Series 86 Commander Optimus Prime. So you can see how those two scale together there. Here he is with the original Combiner Wars Scavenger. So you can see how those two look together. Now, this is a much closer competition than I wish it would be. I do slightly prefer this one still in robot mode, but much closer than I wish it was. But there are those two together. Here is your Studio Series 86 Constructicon team thus far in their robot modes, and I think they do look pretty good together. They are far from perfect, but I am super excited to see the way they come together when we are able to form Devastator. And last but certainly not least, here is Scavenger with a image of how he appeared in the original G1 cartoon and the Transformers the movie, so you can see how close they got him to his on-screen counterpart, and overall I think they did a pretty good job. Some proportions are off, obviously, and whatnot, but they did get the character down pretty well, so I am overall happy with the way this figure has turned out. So that is my review for the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Constructicon Scavenger from the Transformers the movie. And overall, I do enjoy this figure. I think he turned out pretty well. I would consider him good. Certainly not great, but I will consider him good in my mind. I think the alt mode looks really good. The robot mode, it does have some proportion errors and just doesn't completely capture the way he looked in the original series and movie, but I do think you can tell this is Scavenger, and they did do a pretty good job of trying to make him look the way that he did in the G1 series. So, not great, not bad, just good. Now, there are a couple more things to note on the articulation. Just wish he had a waist joint, but other than that, I think it is pretty well done. He even has an ankle pivot, which is very nice, of course. He is certainly an upgrade from the Combiner Wars version, as all of these Studio Series Constructicons have been. Not quite the upgrade I was hoping we were going to get with all of them, but an upgrade nonetheless, and I am happy about that. So if I had to rate this Scavenger on a scale from 1 to 10, I am going to give him a 7.5 out of 10, because I would recommend him just simply due to the fact that he will be combining to form Devastator, and also he does look good in robot and alt mode. Certainly not a grand figure, but I do recommend him, as I recommend everyone needs an 86 Devastator in their life. So Scavenger gets a 7.5 out of 10 from me. Hopefully we will have Mixmaster soon to form Devastator. Now, I do have 86 Megatron in the mail, so depending on when I'm able to film the next video, it will either be 86 Megatron or we will go back and do the Bayverse long haul. So one of those two videos will be coming next. But until then, don't forget, never sacrifice the things you love for the approval of others. I'll see you all very soon with a new video, and until then, roll out. Peace!